Hey folks, this is Kelani. Patch 7.3 looks like it's just 2 weeks away. We're expecting August 29th for a release date, so we're going to be swimming in new content before long. So let's have a look at some of the ways we can prepare for all the changes to come. First up, one of the largest changes in patch 7.3 will be for professions. Every gathering profession gets a new gathering material, so there's a new ore, a new cloth, a new leather, a new herb, and those can be used for a variety of different things, crafting new armor sets, new potions, new trinkets, and even new epic gems. That means it's going to be more important for you to have your professions well set up when patch 7.3 goes live. It's much better being prepared for what you want to do rather than fiddling around with it on patch day when you would probably rather be smashing through the legions of demons awaiting us on Argus. So if you want to craft the new armor for your own character, make sure you have the appropriate crafting profession. It never hurts to take the gathering profession that goes along with your crafting too. If you want to make blacksmithing stuff, make sure to pick up mining, etc, etc. When you're set on your choice of professions, I would recommend getting them all the way up to 800 as well. Usually that's incredibly easy with all of the Legion recipes available to you, and while it doesn't look like it's required right now, some of the newer recipes coming might change to only be available to those with maxed out professions. The new epic gems coming to dual crafting is a very good example of this. The epic gems we can obtain right now require 800 dual crafting to make, so it wouldn't surprise me if the new epic gems also require 800 dual crafting. They're probably going to be a very good moneymaker when the patch first launches, so if you want to hop on the crazy gold train, you'll need to be ready. Getting up to 800 dual crafting and trying to craft some epic gems in a few weeks down the line won't make you anywhere near as much gold. Now, if quick gold is your main concern, the new gathering materials will probably be selling like hotcakes for at least the first few weeks. Pick up mining, herbing, or skinning and go to town when the patch first comes around, and you're sure to make some good money. With professions getting a whole bunch of cool new stuff, you're going to have to be very smart when it comes to stockpiling resources. This is the first time we've ever had this kind of situation, where new raw materials have come in halfway through an expansion. Usually it only happens at the start of new expansions, and you know how it always goes. The older materials lose value very quickly, and the new materials are a gold mine. So if you're sitting on a lot of ore, cloth, or leather right now, it might be a good idea to try and sell it before patch 7.3 goes live. Herbs will probably remain pretty stable due to the new potions only really being healing potions, but it looks like the other materials just won't be used as much when we have new stuff to craft on Argus. There are several gold making strategies which do rely on cheap cloth and leather though, so that might be enough to keep prices stable. It's going to be a bit of a guessing game, but for now I'll be selling most of my goods and maybe investing a little bit back into it if the prices drop low enough to pique my interest. Enchanting is a completely different game. Right now there's no new enchanting materials and no new enchants in 7.3, so that profession will stay basically the same. With new gear opportunities on the horizon, I'm sure the prices of enchants will increase and spike when the new raid releases with patch 7.3.5, but that's still quite a bit away. I'm making sure to buy up any cheap enchanting materials, but that's in preparation of 7.3.5, not really 7.3. One item I would suggest you get rid of ASAP for as much gold as you can is augment runes. In patch 7.3 there is an infinite augment rune available from one of the new reputations for 40,000 gold. It might seem like a lot, but I guarantee you it will pay for itself plenty of times over if you're actually raiding. With raiders picking up the infinite rune, the augment runes lose a lot of their potential market, so they're most likely going to crash hard. The other hot topic with this expansion is Obliterum. It's still going to see quite a lot of use as it's one of the components of the new Obliterum, so I don't see its value depreciating by any crazy amount. Primal Obliterum is going to be a moneymaker for sure, so I'll be holding on to my Obliterum stock for now. I would encourage you to learn a profitable way to make Obliterum, either through crafting or enchanting, as it will probably be making good gold again once the patch goes live. So there's a shiny new augment rune, which costs quite a bit of gold, but there's also a few other things you might want to pick up. The Light-Forged Warframe is a pretty awesome mount, but it will cost you a very pretty penny. The mount starts at 500k, and by the time you hit Exalted it drops down to 400k, so it's nowhere near as bad as it could be. Blizzard could have been very evil and put it up above 1 million gold, but thankfully it's not as crazy as the 2 million spider mount. There's also a whole stable of mounts from the Argusian Reach reputation vendor, among other toys and random things, that just eat away at our gold. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to get some more gold saved up for Argus and 7.3. Not that it's ever a bad time to want to farm gold, but you might just wish you saved up a little extra for this patch. Now there's plenty of ways to make gold, from leveling up alts and just doing their gold class haul missions every day, to actively playing the auction house. Obliterum is still making good gold on my server, so that's a good option to look into. If you're ever at a loss for making gold, farming old raids and selling all the loot, or picking up mining and herbing and just farming for a few hours will always yield a decent amount of gold. I would suggest at least having enough to pick up that new augment rune. If you actively use runes right now, it really will save you buckets of gold by the time the expansion is over. So let's have a look at what might not be worth doing in preparation of 7.3. This might be the first patch where we don't really have to worry about artifact knowledge at all. When the patch goes live, anyone who isn't already AK-40 will automatically be given AK-40. So that's nice. That means when your alts ding 110, you'll just go straight to AK-40 without having to do anything. The way artifact knowledge works in patch 7.3 is also quite different. Every week your AK will increase by 1 automatically, without having to do any research or work orders or anything at all. It's all automatic, 1 per week, and everyone is on an even playing field. Honestly, if they wanted to gate it like this, they probably should have just done it from the start. It would have given them much more control over how quickly we can obtain artifact power, instead of them having to play about with numbers partway through the process. But I digress. Artifact knowledge is automatic, so you don't need to worry about it when 7.3 goes live. Artifact power, on the other hand, is actually getting more important. When you unlock the Nether Crucible in patch 7.3, you can basically fill out a talent tree for your relics. The amount of options you can put into that tree depends on how many points you have in Concordance of Legion Fall. You get 1 point for your first Concordance point, then 1 for every 3 points you have of Concordance. So AP is going to mean quite a lot once again, but I still wouldn't encourage you to go grind your tits off just yet. Remember that artifact knowledge is going to increase again, so it's better and easier to just wait for the AK increase and then do a bit of artifact power farming. The bonuses from the Netherlight Crucible won't make or break anything we're doing right now, and the Argus raid is still a whole patch cycle away. If you really want to, I guess there's nothing stopping you, but I just want to make sure that you don't feel required to go grind your face against Mythic Plus again. One thing that usually comes up when preparing for a patch is Emissary boxes. When there's new legendaries coming in a patch, everyone holds on to their Emissary boxes for God knows how long, so they can open them all for a chance at a new legendary. Even when the new legendaries aren't supposed to work like that. There's only one new legendary coming that we know of, and it's tied to a quest for the Argus raid. You get a quest from Velen to kill the last boss in the Argus raid, and boom, there's your new legendary ring. So that means two things. You won't have to stockpile any form of container or bag, emissary or otherwise, as there aren't any new items being added to them, and the new legendary isn't even going to be available in 7.3, as it's tied to the new raid. So don't worry about maximizing emissary boxes or Legion 4 boxes or anything of the like. Now, nether shards as a currency are going to be made a little bit less relevant. There's a new gear catch-up token in town, and they create item level 910 gear, and the 880 tokens won't be available at all. So if you want 880 gear, you need to buy it before 7.3 goes live, because the new tokens use a new currency called Veiled Argonite, which is only available on Argus. Nether shards can still buy the 850 tokens, but who needs 850 tokens? So if you want 880 gear, buy it now. On the topic of alts, I wouldn't worry too much about gearing up any alts within the next 2 weeks unless you're actively playing them. There are so many new gearing choices for when you get to Argus. World quests are dropping 890s, new 910 gear tokens, and the new 935 crafted gear should be all you need to gear up any toons. Maybe even your main if you're not an active raider. All in all, it's just going to be so much easier to get higher item level loot in 2 weeks when compared to now, so if I were you, I'd wait it out if you don't have a reason to be 910 item level right this very second. So, that's everything I'll be doing in preparation of patch 7.3. I'm super excited to get onto Argus and to see everything implemented on live servers. But that's it for this video. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or hop on over to Discord. We have a server at discord.gg/Kelani, great place to come ask questions or just hang out. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.